Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to this episode of Light Leaders Ascension School. I'm super excited today because we have an incredible guest, the beautiful Demmi Cannon, who is a spiritual business coach. She's a channeler, and she helps spiritual business women to own their truth, own their soul truth, break hustle cycles, and scale to consistent 10K months without apology. And I'm so excited to have her here. She's actually a graduate of Channeling Spirit Academy Business Accelerator as well. And she is someone who is just so embodied in this work. She truly is someone who is living spirit-led lives, spirit-led business. And I almost feel like this is a very new concept. Like I don't see a lot of people. Actually, I don't really know people who are doing this work, and it's something that I'm so passionate about. So having the opportunity to bring Demmi on today and share a little bit about, you guys hear about what it looks like for me, but to have someone else who's walking it, embodying it, I'm so excited to bring her on today and be able to have her share some of her journey, her path, what business looks like when it's run in this way. So thank you so much, Demmi, for being here today.
What an introduction. Like, so I'm feeling like, yeah, that's absolutely correct. And I'm super honored to be here and to really share, I guess, how your work even has impacted my business and my life. So, yeah, very excited.
Amazing. Okay, so let's get into it because I have quite a few different questions that I want to ask Demmi today. That I want to ask you, Demmi, today because I feel like people they sometimes get into their head like, oh yeah, like I get what it means to have an intuitive business or you're a spiritual person who runs a business. But it actually, like when you actually go into what a spirit-led business looks like, it looks completely different to someone who's just a spiritual business owner who maybe might use channeling as a tool here and there or be intuitively led. It actually looks completely different. So I would love to start with a little bit about your journey and what led you here. Like, how did business look before versus how it looks now, the non-spirit led way versus the spirit led way? I'd love to hear a little bit about your journey.
Absolutely. I think for me, it was knowing that you have which everybody who has a spiritual business has this desire to serve, right? Like we want to serve, we love to help people in all the things. And so we might delve into something that we feel is aligned for us initially. And so a lot of people, it's like healing or counseling or all these kinds of things. And so it kind of, honestly, if I can describe it, it's like running blind. It's like you're running blind and you're just doing the things that everybody else is doing, cookie cutter stuff. I try not to swear. um, swear.
Swear
Yeah,
away.
go away, give it away. Yeah, it's kind of running blind. It's like guessing. It's throwing spaghetti at a wall. It's hoping that this thing sticks and hoping that thing sticks. Versus tuning in really deeply to what is aligned for you, what feels good, what your soul's purpose is actually here to do. I think that's been my journey. And for me, it was, well, initially, I mean, within your program, learning about soul facilitated blueprints, guys, epic, life changing. I was running my business in the wrong blueprint. I thought that I was here to be a healer and then delve more deeply. And I'm like, well, actually, no, I'm here to teach and to guide and to lead and to show people the way. So as soon as that piece dropped in for me, everything changed. And it was like from $4,000 months busting my ass to 10K months consistently.
And I feel like that's what happens when we step into how our soul actually wants to serve. And I feel like when we're trying to figure it out mentally and we're just like, well, this is a strategy that's been given to me. I went and I did a course and they said, they've given me this healing modality. So I guess I'll just run with that because, hey, that's kind of adjacent to my soul's work. So it still feels better than at what I was doing before, but it's not getting the results. It's not feeling like that feeling of like, oh my God, I'm fully activated, I'm in my purpose. And I'm not getting the results is because there is something that it might even be how we're facilitating and sharing the work. So I love that you had this realization and were able to step into a deeper alignment with your soul's blueprint. And I'm curious as well, with that, did you experience like big tweaking around your offerings, birthing new offerings, moving? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, before I was working with people in healing, I guess like, oh, I'm struggling with this trauma or this pain and moving people through that. The interesting thing is though, is that even from when I first started my business, the weaves of working with people in business had always been there. So I would have lots of people come to me and say, oh my God, I would love to do this. How did you get into this? And everything else. But I just wasn't picking up on the cues of like, okay, this is what you're meant to do. So yes, I changed everything, and it went from working, I guess, with humanity in a healing aspect to working with spiritual business owners. Yes, in healing and activating and shifting, but also encouraging them to look at what is aligned for them in their business, and also to stop playing small. This cookie cutter, I'm a Reiki practitioner. No, you're not a Reiki practitioner. You are a magical human being with potent energy, but often people can't see that about themselves. And I think this is where coaching is so incredibly important, and people having mentors and people, and I will say mentors who are connected to spirit. Because we can tune in and say like, actually, this is what's meant for you, and you're hiding in this place and you're not showing up in that place. So yes, all of my office changed, my whole energy changed. I got to be more of me, and that felt so freeing. I think people in business sometimes get stuck in the box that they feel they have to wear. And yeah, so much changed so very quickly.
I love that. And it's so interesting because, the financial aspect is one tangible aspect of it, but the reality is when we start doing how we're meant to do it. So for those of you who are like, what are they talking about? Self-facilitated blueprint. So this is something I channeled after years working with spiritual business owners and seeing that there are specific blueprints for how people are meant to be sharing our work. So for example, if you have a sole purpose to activate the divine feminine in people, right? Some people are here to be healers for that, coaches, teachers, creatrixes. Like there are all these different blueprints for how we're actually here to facilitate that. And based on that blueprint, we have a specific capacity for how we're here to hold, how many people we're here to support, how we're here to support, how we're actually here to provide this offering. And depending on that, it's going to really change like all the aspects of your business and your offerings that are going to feel good. Because if right now you're not feeling good in your offering, and even though you're like, this is like spiritual, and I kind of like one aspect of it, but there's something that just feels off about it, chances are the facilitator type might be off, or maybe it's not in your sole purpose. And this is exactly like Demmi was saying, where having that channeled support where someone can look and go, okay, this is actually what is aligned with you, and this is why it's not feeling good, is so, 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 so important, like non-negotiable, in my opinion. And I would love to ask you, Demmi, on that note as well, because I feel like there's such, when we talk about having a spirit-led business, having a spirit-led life, it's not just, oh, I channeled an offering, right? It's like, it's all of the moving parts. So I would love to hear from you as someone who is living it, breathing it, embodied in it. What does having a spirit-led, soul-aligned business actually mean to you? What does that look like?
I think that it extends beyond just business. I think that it needs to be weaved through your entire life. So my days look like doing energy work and going for, walks to talk with spirit. And when certain things or feelings come in, listening, and it's consciously being aware of the threads and the weaves that are happening around you. So yes, it is obviously about business, but it can't just be one aspect of your life. It has to be weaved through different pieces of your life. Like that's just the reality. Otherwise, there is disembodiment. It's
Mm-hmm.
like there's only one part of you that is showing up as spiritual, and the rest of your life looks like shit. It doesn't work. So
Wow.
it's all of the practices, it's tuning in, it's listening. And I think it's also paying attention to what feels, like you said before, for people, if something feels off, for me, and learning this from you, is like that's a key sign that something's out of alignment.
Yeah.
So it's paying attention to those things in your life, what feels out of alignment, what's not working anymore, and listening, and then actually actioning the pieces to release things that no longer serve you.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And I'm curious now, you being in this spirit-led embodied way, for example, something like creating an offer how does that look different now versus like when you were doing your healing sessions versus like how does that look like for you now when you're like, oh, I feel like it's time for me to launch an offer, share an offer with the world?
Sure. I think that before it was based around what do people need? What do I think people want? Versus, oh my gosh, okay, I've received this download for this thing, and there might not be some sort of space in the market for it, but it feels aligned and it comes with an essence. And what I have noticed is when it's channeled versus when you create it, there is so much more success and ease that actually comes with the launch, with the selling, with everything. It's like, okay, this is proof that this is absolutely aligned because everything flows versus it's like pushing, it's hard, I'm busting, I'm having to, do whatever and it's not working.
100%. I almost am like it feels like a cheat code sometimes because you just get the blueprint, the map for it. And with you receiving everything from Spirit, has it always just been easy to go, okay, great, Spirit is telling me to do this, so I'm going to go and launch this program, do this thing, do that? Or has there ever been a time when you're like, oh, I'm having a hard time with actioning this?
Um, don't struggle so much with action. I think because of my personality type, and I guess my whole thing is I am going to be successful. So I know that action is necessary for that. Do I go into shit my pants zone? Certainly. Like, Spirit, are you joking with that thing? Like, come on, that's so scary. But that's
Mhm.
also where I think it's very, very important. And what I teach a lot of my clients is there has to be, with new levels comes new levels of self-belief, and you have to be your biggest supporter. And so if Spirit's giving you something, it's because they know that you are more than capable of achieving that thing. And so you just have to work with that scared little part of you that wants to stay small.
Mhm. And it's such a, as you were talking, it's such a high level of trust in yourself, but also a high level of trust in Spirit. And what I can see with some people is they might receive something and they struggle to trust it, or they struggle to trust themselves to show up. So I'm really curious from you, because I hear this high level of trust and deep knowing and certainty, not just in yourself, but in Spirit. Has that always been there? Did that come from like trial and testing? Or yeah, I'd love to delve into that.
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess, look, and the tangible results are not always going to be present initially, where it's like you receive something and then it's like a big, oh my God, yes, of course, this is working. I just think that it comes from a deep knowing of course, I'm always divinely supported. And I think through my life, I've been through lots of trauma and lots of horrible things, and I've always been supported and always been safe. And so the deep level of trust from within and from Spirit is strong because I just have a deep knowing that, of course, I'm going to be supported. Why would I be led along the wrong way? Everything's always working out in my favor versus, oh, poor me, and things are going to go to shit.
100%. And I think at the core of that, and what you're saying is this beautiful relationship with the divine, and knowing that this isn't a journey. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. It's not a journey that we're doing alone, and it's not a journey we were ever meant to be alone. And almost it makes me sad to think about that there are so many like practitioners and healers and coaches out there who are like struggling and on their own, and they're just like, I've got to figure this out. When in reality, we have these beautiful soul purposes and we have so much divine support that's just waiting there for us. And when we start creating this relationship with it, our divine support and our divine business team, our spiritual business guides, it's like this weight is lifted up and it's like, oh, I can't fuck up. Like I'm always led, I'm always guided, it's always happening for the highest good. And when you have that knowing, like you walk through the world differently. You honestly walk through the world differently because you're like, I'm good. I'm so divinely protected, taken care of, supported. Like
Yeah.
it's such a power move. That's the
It's
way I
honestly, and
describe
this
it.
is what I mean when I said to you before, it's just a different way of life. It's when we talk about like, oh, being spirit led within business, it's just a different way of life. It's like, and I too feel sorry for even just human beings who are like so trapped in their pain and their darkness and the world is against them. And it's like, well, actually, no, everything is here. Like you are meant to be successful and be loved and be happy.
Yeah.
It is just a different way to live.
It really is, and it does come down to core beliefs. And I know that there are probably people listening to this right now who are like, "That sounds amazing," and I feel so far away from that. So if that is you and you are listening, and feeling that way, my invitation is for you to really start building the relationship with spirit and asking for signs, asking for confirmation, talking to your guides, and asking for help. And that relationship will build because please know, whoever you are listening to this, you are deeply, divinely loved and supported, and you have a spiritual team that is so focused on you fulfilling your soul purpose. And that's why we do business differently. Like our business is not just, I'm gonna make some profit, I'm gonna make some money, right? Like we are literally here to be fulfilling our soul purposes that are here to shift the frequency of Earth. So of course that's gonna look different from Bob the accountant down the street. Of course business is going to look different for us than it is for them because it is a spiritual process. The entirety of the business is a spiritual process. And, you know, coming into that, Demi, I'd love to ask you for that. Is there anything that you feel like you do that is so completely different to someone who is a non-spiritual business owner? Maybe something that they're kind of like, what? Like, I didn't even like think of that or know that that was a thing or that people were doing stuff like that.
There would be many things. I would say that the bold, ridiculous audaciousness that we have to, well, not everybody, but I need to move through in order to stand in my energy and my power and to have the connection that I do with spirit. Like I will walk down the street and I'm yelling out to the universe, this thing, that thing, this thing, and like a normal a normal business owner is like, what are you doing, you crazy lady? But it's the way that one, I can raise my vibrational frequency, two, myself, my level of self-belief continues to raise because with new levels of income has to come that whole new level of self-belief. But that's just
Mm,
how I deepen my connection with spirit. It's like it's talking to them. it's
yeah.
it's like making time and making space versus someone, even the way people's routines are, like normal business owners might just get up and they go at their day. I totally understand that I need time to connect with spirit. I have to ensure that, if I wake up and I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered, I have to do the work to get myself on board. It's just a
Mm,
very different way of existing
yeah.
in general.
Yeah, 100%. And I can completely relate to all of those things. And for me, I think one of the things that would probably startle non-spiritual business owners is that I like take all my decisions from spirit. So it's like whenever something can look so good on paper, and if spirit says no, I'm like, no, sorry, I have no logical reason. It's just a no. Or sometimes the opposite. It doesn't look good on paper, but spirit is saying yes. So I'm like, I'd say yes. I think just that decision making, because again, your spiritual business team sees your full like plan, sees where you're meant to go. They have the divine blueprint for you, and our job is to align with it. It's already in existence. It's just the alignment with it, which is why I love you talking about the self-belief, because oftentimes it's our like when we're out of alignment with the beliefs we need to have, we stop ourselves from shifting into what's already there and available for us. It's not something we have to create it, it's already there. And I think you being a channel and me being a channel, what is so powerful for people to receive from that is being able to actually receive the vision and the alignment to what's already there and is in existence and is waiting for them. And so speaking to that, I would love to hear a little bit about like what your work with your clients looks like. When people are like, okay, spiritual business coach, like you're channeling stuff, what does that actually look like? Or like what is the work you are doing with your clients?
Sure. I think the difference between saying a spiritual business coach and channel versus a normal coach is that I'm not coming to my clients and saying, okay, so according to the marketing strategy of la, 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 this is how you should be doing this. It's tuning into, well, obviously, first we work through, finding out their soul facilitator blueprint. That's so incredibly important, working with them to create signature programs that actually
Mm,
allow for them to incorporate all of their soul gifts. Because there
mm,
was something that I channeled around different like soul gift archetypes that people do very naturally, but have no idea that it's actually medicine or like helping people shift through things. So within all of the work that I do, me talking about self-belief this whole entire time, that is very, very important to me. Like your programming, you need to be on board with your mission and your vision. And a lot of people, which is fair enough, a lot of people aren't. So we have to weave through that first. Money is a big piece point because there's so many people within this industry who are like, oh, the broke healer mentality. And I'm like, fuck that.
Right.
That's gotta go. So
Yes.
we work through all of that,
Mhm.
really tuning into their spiritual team, what is aligned for them, what is aligned within their blueprint, learning the strategies, how to market, what type of content they need to be creating that's in alignment with them, that's actually going to draw people in, teaching them how they can magnetize their energy, and all of those kinds of things. And then energetically actually setting up their business and their programs for success. Because that also is something that I learned within the CSA business accelerator. And when I started doing that for my own programs, changed everything.
Yeah.
Changed everything. So yes, working with clients in helping them kind of go through the journey they need to level up their mindset, their energy, like their actual capacity within their energy body, their nervous system, aligning their offers with their soul gifts, energetically setting up their businesses, so they can really be successful and scale.
And I think, just hearing everything you're saying, it's bringing them into full alignment with who they're here to be. And what people have to realize, what us light leaders need to realize, is that we are here to be successful. And it's not finding success, it's actually aligning to the success that we were born here for. So when we go fully into true, authentic self through soul alignment, through this channeling work, through shifting and healing the layers, we come back into our true selves, who is someone successful. So success is always going to be a byproduct of that full aligned soul purpose, because success means I have fulfilled my soul purpose. I have impacted people here. And that is what spirit wants for us so much. So it's incredible to hear you sharing about that and all this beautiful work you're doing, because it's just so needed. It's so potent and so powerful. And I feel like, yeah, like I said before, it's a cheat code because it helps people just, like, you don't have to sit there for months going, oh, like, let me figure out my offering. Let me go to 5 different courses that are going to teach me what kind of offer sells. And she's like, this is your sole purpose. This is the offer that's aligned with that. This is how you're here to do it. So it's like, just we're collapsing time. And this is why I feel it's 5D business as well. It's not just 3D, figure it out the old school way. It's like business in this way. It functions on a 5D level, and it also gets to be illogical, right? It opens up the door to everything non-linear, illogical, because it is operating in a 5th dimensional frequency, which is where we are moving to.
Yeah. And I think that a sign also that you're in complete alignment is that just the quantum leaps that happen.
Yes.
But I can say, when you asked me earlier within my business, how did it start? Very slow at the start. And then as soon as I started relying on spirit's direction and really tuning into my channel and what was divinely aligned for me, it was like just massive quantum leaps, shifting and changing, not just who I am, but how I show up, like the results within my business, monetary, client-wise, all of that.
I love it. And on that question as well, if you look at your life, your business, and you're like, okay, since going all in with channeling, since moving through Channeling Spirit Academy Business Accelerator, how has life business changed for me? I'd love to hear what it looks like now when you're so into spirit-led since before moving through that.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, when we talk about business, we talk about income, I guess. And so I said earlier, I've hit consistent 10K months, and that's amazing. And I love that. But if I'm honest with you, it's felt easy. And that, when you say cheat code, the fact that it gets to be easy, that I show up and I run events, and I've shared with Athena, like the last live event I ran, I had 12 people and 8 people brought my program. And it was like, what the heck? Like, that's crazy. But this is what happens. It just feels so easy. And through working within your programs and learning your teachings and really learning how to do things correctly and shifting the perspectives, business feels easy. It feels so soul aligned. And I just feel like I have got to become more of who I am, unapologetically. instead of feeling like I have to fit into some sort of little thing over here. It's like, no, this is who the fuck we're here to be, and it's okay to be that.
I love it. So unapologetic. So you. I love it. Beautiful. And for someone who is listening right now, because we have a lot of practitioners and healers and coaches in the audience, someone who is listening right now who might be like, like business is good, but I feel like there's something not quite right. I keep trying to hit my goals. I'm hustling a lot. There's stuff that just doesn't feel good. I feel kind of drained by it. It feels like it's not growing the way it wants to. If somebody is feeling that right now and listening, what would you say to them? What advice would you have for them?
I would encourage them to get themselves a mentor or a coach who is connected with spirit, because that's exactly what I've done. I'm working with Athena one-to-one because I'm like, cool, so I've hit this level, but I know that there's also a next level that's available. So I would encourage them to find a beautiful human that they feel drawn to, that can help them see who they really are, tune into spirit, what is next for them, so that they can break through that barrier that has them stuck.
I love it. That's so beautiful. That's exactly it, right? And working with spirit is the fast track to entrepreneurial success, abundance, and a soul-aligned life. So what we're going to do is we're going to put all of Demmi's details below in the info box. So you can just open that up and you'll find her Instagram, her website, all her pages if you're feeling drawn to connect with her or work with her, or even check out how she brings her soul codes through her content, because she's got a very powerful energy, as you can tell, and you can feel it through her content. Demmi, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come on today to share about your purpose, your work, all the amazing, incredible work you're doing. I'm so grateful that you are in my world and that you've taken the time to share with everybody today this beautiful journey you've been on.
So deeply honored. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to watch this book.
All right. Thank you so much, beautiful souls, for being here today. Make sure you check out the links below, and I'll see you in the next episode.